back inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Ready, 95, 56. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Tonight.
They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Brees. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
When I see Latavius Murray with the ball in his hands, I think that he's a dangerous player. He has good speed, good presence to run inside, nice toughness, and good vision that once he gets past the first line of defense, he can make a guy miss and turn it into a bigger game.
To throw is Brees. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
Clearly, every time the Saints put together a game plan, they plan to get Michael Thomas involved early and often. 125 catches in 2018, the most in the NFL. Not bad for a kid in Pop Warner football that only played the minimum number of plays every game.
So here are the Cowboys now backed up to get this drive started. They'll be led out by the Mississippi State man, now in his 4th season in the National Football League, Dak Prescott.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 14 carries, 114 yards, and a score.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on him.
For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Prescott's throw going to be caught by Gallup. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
A first down carry by Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
46.
Prescott now from the 50. It'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. They'll run with Pollard. He'll have a first down inside the 10.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Check my 46. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jason Witten, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Breeze. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Ready.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
21.
Shotgun now for Breeze. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Come on, one thing for sure, you know that Michael Thomas is going to be the target on a 3rd down pass, and Drew Brees finds him and keeps this drive moving.
On play action, it's Breeze. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a second down coming up. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A shotgun handoff. This is Murray now. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt. I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. From the gun, it's Breeze. And complete right side to Cook. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the second time. $51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the ref.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Prescott now. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. We remind you that coming up tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, we finish off the first quarter of the season with an AFC North battle from the Steel City. The Bengals and the Steelers kickoff scheduled for 8:15 Eastern. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Breeze now. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Breeze able to find the veteran Ginn. Touchdown, New Orleans! Ted Ginn, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan, his 2nd sack of the night.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott, and he rifles one incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 3rd and long for Prescott. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On first down, Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Breeze now to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Murray. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Breeze going to throw. And Cook has it, left side. Shrugs off another. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Breeze now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. The final shot before half for Breeze. It's caught on the right side at Smith. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll try the right side with Elliott. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Prescott from the gun. Cooper's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the pistol, here's Elliott. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
7 yards there and a first down. Well, using Zeke Elliott in the passing game, that's something Cowboy fans are getting used to. Last year, 77 receptions, and you think back to his rookie season, he had 32 and then 26 his second year, but he's really on the uptick. Here's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On second down, it's Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length and was polished off by the touchdown run from the 16-yard line. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, it's Murray. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. On first down, Murray. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse And I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Drew Brees, 6 fourth-quarter comebacks a season ago, and that led the NFL. He'll try to deliver another one. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Malik Collins breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
To try again after the sack. Brees is going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Over the middle into the hands of Michael Thomas. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now, Brees again. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this had trouble written all over it from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch